Welcome to the Shred the Spread podcast, episode 20, Thanksgiving Game Day Special. I'm your host, Jared. If you're new, thanks for tuning in. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. The plan was to have Dynell and I break down these three games for the Thanksgiving Day slate. However, due to a little bit of scheduling conflict, Dynell was unfortunately able to join us today. However, we did want to make sure that we had an episode out for the Thanksgiving Day games that we gave our leans on. None of these are official picks. I will let you guys know what we are betting and what we're not betting, but we'll give our leans for the sides and stuff. I'll break down a little of these games in depth, and we'll just give some information on these games. Dynell did send me his leans, so once we go over the game, we will get into that. But yeah. So unfortunately, it will be just I. But we did want to make sure that we did get an episode out because we wanted to make sure that our information was on record. So um, with that being said, let's just go ahead and hop in. Let's get these three games done. This will probably be a pretty quick episode just because it is three games. And it is just me. The Bills not necessarily traveling to the Lions because they are still in Detroit from their last game when the game was, replaced to the Detroit Lions venue. The Lions are hosting the Bills. Lions are 10-point home underdogs. The total for this game is 54.5. See, this is a difficult one because the Lions are coming off a pretty solid win against the Giants. They won outright. They were 3-point underdogs. They traveled to New York, handled their business, and now they're coming back home. One thing that Dynell and I always touch up on is that the Lions at home, for some reason, seem to score the ball. So Dynell's lean in this game, let me just double check to make sure I'm right. He is taking Detroit plus, he's got put at 9.5, but the line I see is at 10. So he's taking Detroit plus 10. If I were to take a side, I would probably lean the Bills. And I know laying 10 points with the Bills sounds crazy, but primarily this is just because of the trend of road favorites on Thanksgiving generally cover. It's just something that's just been a profitable bet. The lines, but 10 points is a lot. So I probably will end up staying away from the side. And I will be playing this over. I think there will be a lot of points. It's inside. The Lions at home. Like I say, MCDC, Motor City Dan Campbell, just gets that team going at home. They're scoring points. They scored points against the Giants, and the Giants are pretty solid defense. Bills are pretty much in a must-win spot. So I do have the Bills winning this game. 10 points, like I said, is a lot to lay. However, I think this is a really good spot. I think the Bills have played some ugly football. They are looking to dominate. They're the first game on Thanksgiving. Josh Allen is familiar with this field because he just played a few days ago. So they're playing in an environment where they're familiar with. So I think there's going to be a lot of points, and I will be on the over 54.5. So Dynell is on the Lions plus 10. I am on the over 54.5 points. So that takes us to the next game. We have a NFC East division rival matchup. The New York Giants are traveling to Dallas, where the Dallas Cowboys are 9.5 point favorites at home. The total for this game is 45.5 points. There's a few trends that I was looking at. Looking at this game, we have the Giants coming off a pretty ugly loss at home where they were favored to the Lions. We have the Cowboys coming off an extraordinary performance where they whooped the Vikings' ass. For those who remember from the last couple episodes, you knew that the Cowboys was my biggest bet of the year against the Vikings. It was just a really good spot. I thought the Cowboys were due for a good, play there. But this is where Dynell and I see eye to eye on this. The Giants and Cowboys, we both agreed that the Giants getting 9.5 in an NFC East division matchup seems pretty off. The Cowboys are going back home. Um, but here's one thing that I want to keep in mind. In the last 11 Thanksgiving Day games, the Cowboys are 1-10 against the spread. So, not only do they play like shit on Thanksgiving, they're extremely overvalued by Vegas on Thanksgiving. And this is mainly because there's a shorter slate. The Cowboys are a popular team, and the public usually hammers the Cowboys. Um, you know, I'm not sure what the money split on this is, but it just seems like this line would probably stay at 9.5. I could probably see this moving to 9. I doubt this gets to 10. Um, and which is surprising because we talk about public perception on this podcast all the time. And you know, when the Cowboys are coming off a dominant performance, a lot of people generally like the. It just makes sense. The public sees the Cowboys just whoop the Vikings' ass, and the Giants just lost to the Lions, so they're gonna say, "Okay, Cowboys are winning this game." Do I think the Cowboys win this game? Yes. Do I think they cover 9.5 points? Probably not. Uh, the Cowboys, like I said, they're 1-10 their last 11 against the spread on Thanksgiving, and we're getting a 9.5 point favorite at home. It just doesn't make sense. So I will be most likely betting the Giants plus 9.5, but I also really like this over. Um, I think this is a get right spot for the Giants. I think the Cowboys have some regression where they go back towards the mean just because they had a pretty outlier game against the Vikings. Um, the Vikings defense is a little bit better than the Giants in my opinion. But the Cowboys, like, I don't know, man. Um, I just feel like the defense isn't going to be as big of a deal against the Giants just because I feel like Saquon gets going. I think this is going to be a pretty solid scoring game. I think the Cowboys win by 6-7. I don't think they quite get to that extra 2-score game range. So Dynell and I both agree Giant plus 9.5, and I will also be on the over. If you want, you could teaser this Giants plus 15.5, and you could tease the over down to 39.5. So, if you wanted to get like a kind of straight bet teaser parlay from that game, I do like the Giants plus 15.5 and the total to 49 or 39.5. So, that'll be about a minus 110, basically the same as a straight bet, and you're getting 2 touchdowns with the Giants. So we're following these trends of the Cowboys don't do good on Thanksgiving, and we're going for a solid scoring game. And last but not least, we have the Patriots traveling to Minnesota. The Vikings are 3-point home favorites, and the Patriots and Vikings game has a total of 42 points. I know a lot of people are going to be on the Vikings. They think it's a get right spot. The Vikings at home. Patriots struggling to score. We just saw it versus the Jets. But there is one. I'm just gonna go. Let me just go say this real quick. Dynell is on the Vikings -3. Okay. Um. There's one big reason why him and I are on opposite sides. So I'm gonna be on the Patriots +3. This is literally a matchup where I look at the lines. So the Patriots defensive line versus the Vikings offensive line. Patriots defensive line, although they don't have Micah Parsons, they are almost in that. I think they're slightly better than the Cowboys defensive line. They stop the run better. They get constant pressure on the quarterback. Um, they got so many pressures on Zach Wilson. It was insane. And I know the Jets offensive line missing some pieces and they're not playing that well, but the Vikings offensive line might be worse. So we're going to see another constant attack of pressure from this Patriots defensive line, and this is strictly a play for me where I'm really going all in on the Patriots defensive line versus the Vikings offensive line. Dalvin Cook is going to have 0 holes to run the ball. It's going, we saw Justin Jefferson. I think the latest thing I saw was okay, so he was a full participant for the full participant in practice, so that's good for the Vikings. But the Patriots defense has just been very good this year. I don't know. I think this game is going to be pretty low scoring. I just think 3 points is too much. Uh, especially how bad that Vikings offensive line has been playing. It's scary, especially Kirk in prime time. I don't know what it is. The later it gets in the day, the worse Kirk Cousins play. So we got the Vikings laying 3 in prime time versus one of the top defenses. I think they're top 5 DVOA in the league. It seems a little too steep for me. So Dynell is on the Vikings -3. I'm on the Patriots +3, but I think I slightly lean to the under a little bit better. 42 points seems like a lot because I don't really expect each of these teams to put up 20 points. Like I see like I don't really want to give a score prediction just because I think the Patriots keep it close, but we could see I don't know. I want to say like 12 to 14. Uh Maybe Vikings pull it off. Um Patriots, Nick Folk has been automatic, so he's gonna kick. When they have an opportunity to get a field goal, they're gonna send him out there. Patriots are one of the least aggressive teams going for it on fourth down. Um, I think the Vikings do get in the end zone once or twice, but I see the Patriots I see a lot of drives being stalled out. So I think I would lean the under. The under might be my favorite play in this game. So Dynell is on the Vikings -3. I lean the Patriots +3, but I am most definitely going to bet the under. The Patriots under, Broncos under. Those they just seem very free. The Jets under. Those three teams just a trend. The games generally go over, or under. So we have the Bills and Lions. Dynell is on the Lions +10. I lean Bills -10, but I'm on the over. Dynell and I are both on the Giants +9.5. I also lean the over. Remember that tidbit: Cowboys are 1-10 their last 11 against the spread on Thanksgiving. And then we have the Patriots and Vikings. Dynell leans the Vikings -3. I lean Patriots +3, but my favorite play in this game is the under. So the plan is for Dynell and I to break down all of the Sunday games later this week. I'm not sure if we're going to record it on Wednesday night and I'll have it out Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, or we'll record it like Friday night and release it Saturday. I don't know. So just keep up to date with us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter at @shredthespread_. If you like TikTok, we have some content on there. You can also follow us on TikTok at @shredthespread. If we have any scheduling changes or some episodes that we didn't plan to come out but we're going to make, I will do my best to post it as early as possible on our Twitter. So that's where you can find the majority of the early access information. But that's going to do it for me. We apologize for not being able to get Dynell and I both on for this, but I wanted to make sure that I gave his leans for everybody who does tail his picks. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Shred the Spread podcast. If you still listen on any platform and you have the availability to leave a rate, please do so. You can also leave a comment on some podcast platforms. But, with that being said, thank you guys so much. And we will see you in the next episode for Dynell and I breaking down the games for Sunday.